bother, oh, be honest, work hard and you'll be duly rewarded. That's why nurses ride buses and estate agents drive Porsches. Learn to share, be grateful for what you got. It's not nice to be greedy to grab. Now run along and watch 10 minutes of TV and 30 minutes of ads. And you'll be so glad. All the shiny new things, they'll come along and try to sell you. Things you didn't even know you needed before someone was kind enough to tell you. And if you ever let me catch you scribbling on the wall, you can be sure you're going to pay, because writing your name up in spray is a very serious crime. But that 20-foot billboard next to it screaming, buy another car, that one is fine. So you have to bear in mind they've paid a lot to get that spot in your line of sight and in your consciousness, that when you can expect to collect that check, I'm afraid I can't make any promises. Now young girls, when you go to school, be sure to follow all the rules without fail. That means no makeup and no painted nails, and don't put your skirts too short. Try to keep your thoughts on your books, because that's what's going to serve you in life, not your looks or being popular or cool. And then when you're on your way home from school, you can read any one of your favourite magazines marketed specifically at teens, all about how we make goddesses and queens out of women with necklines as low as their self-esteem, and self-esteem as low as their IQ, whose sole purpose seems to be to provide you with a message that if you don't wear your ribs on the outside, you're overweight. And even if you can't starve yourself into shape, there's plenty of surgical options you can take. Now guys, I'm talking to you too. I know right now you think getting respect from your crew is all about trainers and phones and the right brands on your clothes, but as any wise, old, tedious, repetitive adult knows and will take any chance to remind you, appearances don't matter, my boy, what counts is what's inside you. But oh, clearly this really isn't good. I see you sometimes like to wear a top that comes with a hood. And please, tell me these rumours aren't true. You like to hang out with other kids the same age as you, outdoors, in public. You know what this means. Once you hit about 14, people are going to start judging you and begrudging you based not on knowing you, but based on what they've seen between the pages of the Sun and the Mail. And you might find that the elderly and frail become paranoid and tend to avoid you and walking through areas that are poorly lit. And you might find that in-store security guards start to swarm around you like flies around shit. And you might be thinking, this is outrageous. I've never committed a crime or been in the papers. This kind of treatment seems a little rough. But you see someone who looks like you has, son. And to most people, that's just good enough. So I'd be a little less concerned about downloading that ringtone, and a bit more worried about that inconvenient skin tone, because there's no easy way to say this, but you're just not Caucasian, and that means you can look forward to up to 5 times more chance of incarceration, 29 times more of stop and search without explanation. But don't let that make you feel all bitter and resentful inside, because like I always told you, right? You've got nothing to fear if you've got nothing to hide. And that crew of yours, in which you take such pride with the postcodes and the pitbulls and the puff and the patois, the feeling you belong, that's just plain wrong. When you got into that fight of what that guy said about your mum, that was dumb and you should know better than to go pursuing such petty vendettas. But that other crew, sorry, that bit was ahead of itself, I'll come back to that in a minute, I'll explain that. So anyway, so the gangs, that's plain wrong. But that other crew, with the cars, and the money, and the helicopters, and the horses, and the guns, and the dogs, and the tasers, and the mace, and the DNA database, and the cameras in every corner of your community who can and frequently do kill you with impunity, that's just plain right. And when you got into that fight, what that guy said about your mum, that was dumb and you should know better than go pursuing such petty vendettas. But when a man gets cut down by 8 rounds for wearing a big jacket and running on the underground, or when a pre-dawn raid smashes down your door, shoots you in the shoulder, pins you to the floor, and frightens the fuck out your family for nothing more than a mistaken address, when a 47-year-old father of 4 gets pushed to his death for walking home from work on the same day as a protest, that's called keeping the peace, and nobody ever gets busted. So why can't people see the police should always be trusted? And I wonder, when those Londoners went burning and looting and helping themselves to what they please, if they learnt that from listening to rap or from their history GCSEs, from back when half the world map was coloured in pink. Maybe they were taught that way to think, by watching their government send its armed forces to lay down their lives, liberating those poor, defenceless natural resources. And please, let's not succumb to amnesia, and forget that pre-Mugabe, Zimbabwe was known as Rhodesia, named after the man who pulled the greatest diamond heist of all time. Not with a sledgehammer and a moped, they just used slaves to go down mines. But they didn't give him a fine, put a tag around his ankle or give him an ASBO. They didn't send him to the gallows or even the cells. They just gave him a knighthood, a university and a country as well. But don't worry, because that ugly business of slavery is all long gone. Just don't ask where your laptop, your phone or your iPod came from, or why Foxconn, the factory that produced it, finds it conducive to business and anti-suicide nets around the outside of the building. There's a lesson here, children. Haven't you learnt yours yet? Take what you want, just not from your own doorstep. So now don't pout and protest and grumble and bitch. Shouldn't you be at work anyway, pissed away the day for minimum pay, making someone else rich? And if you keep it up till you're about 300, who knows, maybe one day you'll even get a pension. Just be a good sport and promise not to mention the big in-joke that since the beginning of time all us adults have known, that kids don't learn from what they're told, they learn from what they're shown. Thank you very much.